what's up, boxing fans? This is the Rope-A-Dope Report. I am your host, Chris Carlson. I have a kind of a prediction video, a little news. I'll just throw in the news right now. We got a couple pieces. Actually, before I just turned on this video camera right now, I just saw a scroll on ESPN. It said Jeff Lacey and Roy Jones are fighting. Sure, Roy looked good in his last fight, and he's going to probably look good against Lacey, but I really hope this is just leading to one more fight, and then it's done. Maybe come back on Omar Shiki, or whatever his name was, and then Lacey, and then something, and then be done. That's all I got to say about it. I'm a huge Roy supporter. I think he should put him up. Put the gloves up. Anyway, Marquez and Mayweather, supposedly they want Mayweather to come down as close as they can get, 142, 143. Also, Arum, Pacquiao's, we all know Bob Arum from Top Rank. They want to get him down. They want to get Floyd down to like 140 or 142, where it's not going to work maybe too. That's kind of BS. Floyd hasn't fought there since 2005, and he's had a layoff. So I think this deal is going to get done. I know it's been in negotiations for quite a while. They've moved it to July 11th or July 18th because July 11th is UFC 100, which should be a big pay-per-view. Smart move there. And like I said, Floyd, I actually recently, I've heard in the last 5 days so many different things about this fight in negotiations, and it's not money, and that's why I think it'll get done, because the money is taken care of, they said. Floyd recently just said 145. I'll get to 145. If he weighs in at 145, odds are the next night when he actually fights, it'll be about 147, 148. That's where Floyd will be. If Marquez weighs in at 140, he'll be like 143, 145 the next night. I believe he was 144 or 145 his last fight against David Diaz, and that's weighing in at 135. So, when it comes down to it, it'll maybe 3 pounds, 5 pounds. Really doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter when you're talking about this pound-for-pound stuff. A lot of people are getting down on Floyd, but whatever. I don't think he should go down to 140. I'm not sure. Unless he can for sure make it, but I don't know if he can. He's been up there for a while. I know he's smaller for a welterweight, but he's been weighing 147 for quite a while. Anyway, next bit of news is a little kind of mad and sad. I'm sad that it's happening. I'm mad that it's happening too. James Kirkland, who has a fight, an upcoming knockout on the undercard of Pacquiao Hatton. And actually, maybe he's in talks and has been in talks trying to get a title fight in early August. So anyway, he's right on the cusp. James Kirkland is right on the cusp of blowing up, and supposedly, well, he's in jail. Sunday night, he got busted with an illegal firearm, and he's a felon. He's not a former felon. He is a felon on probation, so I don't know. There's not a ton of information released on this. So I don't really know exactly how to comment it. I don't know if he was alone and that's his gun, or if he's with some people and he was around the gun. I know when you're on probation, you can't even be around an illegal gun. Not like you can be around an illegal gun normally, but that hurts you if you're on probation. But anyway, that's like I said, a sad and a mad story. I'm sad that it's happening, and I'm very mad at him too, though, because if it's just him and he had a gun that he illegally had, or whatever the case may be, if he did something wrong, come on, man, Anyway, let's go on to this prediction. Now, a lot of people are going to see, and I don't even know, I'm going to have Dawson versus Tarver on the title for this video, and a lot of people might not even look at it for that reason. It's coming May 9th. Here's the deal, and I haven't heard this enough. Dawson, it's not that he just, instead of taking a rematch, they're all like, rematch Glenn Johnson, rematch somebody else. Well, Dawson has to fight Tarver to keep the belt. It's in the contracts. That was part of the agreement to fight him and get the belt. You had to have a rematch. So, the fight, I don't expect that much. I will say this, Tarver, he's over the hill. That's part of the reason why nobody wants to see this. People are mad HBO picked it up. I understand from an HBO perspective. They want to get Dawson here. People know Tarver, so it's a well-known 2 wins in a row against an opponent. and they can talk about his wins against Glenn Johnson and his wins against Tomas Adamek and his wins against those type of guys. And I heard that he wants Hopkins next. I'm talking Dawson. I also heard Hopkins is in talks, maybe light talks, about fighting the Punisher, Paul the Punisher. That'd be a heck of a fight for the Punisher if he had to fight Hopkins. Anyway, let's stick to the story. He said he wants to fight Hopkins. If that doesn't work, he's thinking about even going on to 168, which is a much deeper division. You got Kessler, he could fight down there, the winner of Carl Froch, Jermaine Taylor. There's just a lot. Butte from Canada. There's a lot more fights down there, and that's cool that he's going to chase a fight. He said he's more than likely to go chase that down than go up to cruiserweight, because cruiserweight's pretty much a dead division, and the top guy up there he beat. And let's talk about Dawson, man. He's got great defense. Mayweather Sr., I believe Mayweather Sr. worked with him. He's got great hand speed, especially for a light heavyweight. He's got good pop. He's not the most powerful guy, but he can hit you. He makes you respect him. And, he keeps his composure. Good footwork. Every once in a while, late in the fight, you saw it against Glenn Johnson, you saw it against Tomas Adamek, he gets caught with some big punches. But, especially with Adamek, he was winning that fight handily, and I believe in the 10th round got laid straight on his butt. But you know what? He got his stuff together. He clinched when he needed to clinch. He swung back to make the guy respect him. And he just survived and got his composure back. And he's done that in a couple big fights. I had him beating Glenn Johnson. I believe I had it 6-4-2 or 5-4-3, something like that. I had him, I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 rounds, but it was a tight fight, and I do want to see a rematch down the road. I think Glenn Johnson deserves it. But I really like Dawson for the future, and I hope he gets big fights. I hope he gets to fight Hopkins. I think that'd be a really fun fight to watch. Haven't heard really Hopkins too excited to fight him for money reasons and for young reasons. He said he doesn't want to fight any more young fighters, which that would be Paul Williams, wouldn't it? Anyway, I like Dawson a lot, man. I'm going to pick him in a decision. Tarver's better at rematches, so it could be a better fight. No matter what, Pacquiao and Hatton is a week before this. The next week, when they do the free replay, you get to watch 2 fights that night if you hadn't seen the Pacquiao-Hatton. If you're busy, you're working, you're out of town. So that's kind of cool, too. I like when they do that, get a live fight and a replay. I like Dawson a lot. I'm just kind of, I'd like to hear some comments on you guys. See what kind of fighter you think he is. I would have loved to see him against Calzaghe. Maybe if he makes a statement this year and is able to get in a big fight, maybe against Kessler or something like that, or somebody, maybe that will get Calzaghe out. I do believe it would be Calzaghe's toughest fight, though, of his career. Anyway, I'm your host, Chris Carlson. It's kind of been a little news prediction. Not much on the prediction, because there's really not much to talk about when it comes to Antonio Tarver and Dawson. Anyway, I'm your host, Chris Carlson. Peace.